Hey my angels, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please show me some love by subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to click that notification bell on so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. On this channel we'll talk all things growth. So today I want to talk about something that we all go through but don't always know how to deal with, and that is being in your low seasons and facing failures. Those times, man, when nothing seems to go right, your energy is not the best, your plans don't work out, and you just feel stuck. Personally, I've been through a few of those seasons, and honestly, they used to terrify me a lot. Like, I always felt like I wasn't producing, I wasn't achieving anything, or I wasn't moving forward, and I was somehow falling behind with my life. But the truth is, those moments happened for a reason, and they redirected my path to something amazing that I have never imagined. When things aren't going the way you planned, you get frustrated or even embarrassed, and you start asking yourself questions like, why isn't this working? Like, what's wrong with me? But what I've learned is when you experience those seasons, that's actually where the most growth happens. When life slows you down, I take that as life trying to tell you something. Maybe it's nudging you into a new direction. Maybe it's reminding you that what used to work for you doesn't fit who you are anymore. Like, life always communicates with us one way or another. We just have to listen. And I've had so many times in my life where things that used to flow perfectly and suddenly they stopped working. And I used to get caught in that spiral of asking myself those negative questions like, what am I doing wrong? Like, is there something wrong with me? And sometimes we go as far as thinking people are, bewitching us, when really it's just life saying, hey, it's time to evolve. Like, it's time to step in a new season. And I think that's what low seasons are really about. They are invitations to realign your life, to reset, to get quiet enough to hear what's next. There were times when I just didn't feel like myself. I was unmotivated. I would doom scroll for like hours and hours, and I just felt tired, and I couldn't bring myself to create or work the way I used to. And I remember waking up one day thinking, this is it, maybe I've lost it, maybe I should just give up. But looking back, that season wasn't about losing myself, it was about finding a new version of myself. When you're constantly on the go, when you're always trying to chase, always trying to produce, you don't have time to reflect, and you don't even realize that you've outgrown certain habits, certain dreams or paths. And it's usually in those quiet, slow, low moments when things finally start to work out. Those moments of reflection might feel heavy, but they're actually necessary because they force you to be honest with yourself, and that honesty can change the way you see things. So now I really want to talk about failure, and honestly I don't like that term anymore because failure isn't really failure unless you stop trying, right? It's just feedback, it's data, right? And when something doesn't go the way you hoped, it's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's just life giving you feedback saying, okay, this method didn't work, maybe if you could just try another one. And for instance, when you try to bake a cake and everything goes completely wrong, you don't say I'm a failure. You just think, okay, maybe I used too much salt, or maybe I needed to bake this cake a little bit longer, right? And failure only becomes real failure when you give up completely and you stop trying. And every time something doesn't work out, it's life saying, no, not this way, try again. And the beautiful thing is, you always come out of it with more wisdom, with more clarity, and a stronger sense of who you are. And I've had so many failed attempts at things, literally jobs, projects, relationships, right? And in that moment, I'd be crushed, I'd cry, I'd also question myself, I'd feel embarrassed. I'd feel like whatever I do doesn't always work out, so why do I have to try again? But that's the beauty of it, because I can see that each one of those moments taught me something that I needed to know for the next step, right? And failure isn't the opposite of success. It's honestly a part of it. Like, you literally cannot reach success without first bumping into a few closed doors. But one way or the other, doors that are meant for you will eventually open, and that is what I've learned. I've always been someone who learns by doing, and I can't just sit and plan things in my head forever. Like, I have to go out of my way and try. And sometimes trying means falling flat. But every no and every not yet didn't mean that I wasn't good enough. It just led me somewhere way better. And I've tried things that I've thought I'd love, like vlogging, right? And I realized later, wait, maybe this isn't for me. And that is okay. And that's how you figure yourself out, by doing something to see if it works out for you or not, right? For example, maybe you start something because it looks amazing from the outside, like that dream job or that cool creative project that you've been thinking about, right? But once you're in it, it just doesn't feel right anymore, and you're allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to pivot, and that's not failure. That's you being self-aware, right? And honestly, the only way you learn what's right for you is by trying what's not. I know how scary it is to be in a low season, and it feels very uncertain. It feels uncomfortable. And sometimes you just want to fast forward through that phase, right? But trust me, like, there's always something forming behind the scene of what you're going through. And when things fall apart, it's not always a loss. Sometimes that phase is just clearing space for what's meant to come next. And you might think nothing's happening, you might feel stagnant, but you're actually being redirected towards something better, something that fits who you are and who you are becoming. And I look at it this way, right? Your low seasons are like soil. They might be dark and dull on the surface, like there's nothing or nothing's happening. But underneath the soil, things are rooting, growing, and preparing to bloom again. And that's the beauty of it. So when you're in a season where you feel lost or unmotivated, just remember that you don't have to have it all figured out yet. You don't have to be your best self every day. We all experience good and bad days. You just have to keep showing up for yourself, even in the smallest ways, like praying or like start journaling. And some days it just means you have to rest. You'll try again tomorrow. Healing, growing, and realigning, it's not always linear and perfect. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, but what matters is that you stay open to what life is trying to teach you. I used to see closed doors as rejection, right? And those times in my life would hurt so bad, because being rejected is not a good thing, But I now see being rejected as protection. Like, every no that hurt me was actually life saying you deserve better than that. So if you're in a low moment right now, don't fight it, don't rush through it, sit with it, learn from it. It's there for a reason. Because once you come out on the other side, you'll realize that everything that went wrong was actually helping you to get it right. So yeah, man, that's what I've learned about navigating failures and low seasons. They're not the end. They're just a transition and a bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And once you stop seeing them as setbacks and start seeing them as setups, that's when everything changes. Like, you'll realize that you were never behind, you were just being prepared. And that is all that I have for you guys today. And if you're going through a low season right now, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Take it one day at a time. Trust the timing of your life and know that everything is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to. And I'm sending you so much love, and thank you for watching this video. I will see you guys on my next one.